I don't know if anyone's there, but it seems like there are 5 people on the call, so I thought I'd say hi. Barbara Taft, where are you?
Mesa, Arizona.
Oh, okay. So
Our weather has cooled down. We're only 92 degrees today.
oh
Oh
my
my
gosh.
We hit 102 last week, so
Oh, I had not realized it was already so hot there.
Yeah, and in
our weather's
Tucson
been
too, it's
crazy.
100 here, I think. I don't know what it is in our yard.
Oh, wow.
It's horrible out there. I just took my no tornado picture out in all that heat, so I look like, ah.
Oh, well, good for you for doing the picture. I have to do it yet. But they say I have till May 15th.
Yeah, the Ula said only 30 women had done it, and she was very disappointed in that.
Well, maybe we should make an announcement that people should do it.
Yeah, that's why I got busy and did it, even in that heat out there.
So Ula says she has a Romeo and Juliet. Is that true?
Oh yeah, but you know, she's a little concerned how to do it, but I think doing it as a Zoom and making it a YouTube might be the way to go. You could do it as street art, but she sent me another post saying we're all over 70 and you know, the usual kind of thing. Oh, how are we gonna do this? And you know, it all depends on your will. If you can go and stand in front of a fence with a sign, if someone gives you the script, you can do that too. You know, it's no harder than standing in front of a wall with a sign. So, but if she doesn't want, I don't know, there may be some things I don't know about how angry people are in Europe. They're so into war hysteria. It's maybe worse than in the US, I think.
I think it might be. Well, interesting idea.
Well, I think I will do it if no one else does it because it's more than an idea. To me, it's easily done. I know people who could pull off the languages. Finnish might be hard for me, but she could probably find somebody there, and as long as they're willing to do it on Zoom, which won't endanger them in any way, then I could do it. I could put it on my webpage, or WILPF could put it on WILPF's webpage.
Yeah.
But I think even so, we can pull it off as a Zoom that's recorded to a YouTube. I do it all the time. I'm in a playwright group, and we're doing a play right now. It's going to be a YouTube video. It's not that hard to do. I haven't heard back from her about the YouTube option, but all basically they need to do is have people that can speak the language, and I can help out with selecting which little snips of dialogue between Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
I think it's moving. You remember when Sarajevo was besieged? Do you remember that? In the Yugoslav war, they had a Romeo and Juliet there. One was Serb and one was Bosnian Muslim. So it's been done. I don't see what makes this war different. I really don't.
It's sad that there's any wars, all these wars going on. Yeah.
Too many.
Oh, I see Linda's on. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hi,
Now, Linda. Where is Linda? Are you in Seattle, Linda?
I am in Seattle.
That's what I thought. Okay. I bet it's cool in Seattle.
You know, it's sunny today, and it's all the spring pollen is out. So anybody who has allergies like me, it's beautiful to look at, and it's hard to experience physically.
Do you actually get sinus infections from it?
Yeah, I have really bad.
You should wear a nose filter. I'll tell you about it in an email.
Okay, sounds good.
They're cool, they're disposable.
Wow. Nose filter.
Nose
Wearing
filters.
a mask can make a big difference.
Yeah, but nose filters, when it's 100, you don't want to have a mask on it. You know, it's very hot. So these nose filters are good.
I love this collective health guidance.
We're all practicing medicine here without a license.
So hello, Ariel. It's nice to see you. Haven't seen you on the call before that I remember. So
good.
And there's Cheryl Spencer.
Cheryl, and oh, look at you with your towel. I love it.
Okay, well, since it's almost 10 after 8, well, it's 8:07 here on the East Coast, and Nuri isn't on, I think we should go ahead and start with announcements or questions because when she comes on, we'll let her speak, but I think we should go ahead. I know Cheryl wrote that she had an announcement she wanted to make.
So you want me to make my announcement?
Sure. I mean, and then we'll see if someone else has an announcement to make. But go
Okay.
ahead, Cheryl.
I have the one about the NATO sign photo.
Okay.
So hello everybody. I'm Cheryl Spencer. I'm one of the co-chairs of the Disarm Committee, and my other two co-chairs are Diane and Ellen Thomas, who are both here. And I reside in Palo Alto, California. I'm a member of the Peninsula Palo Alto branch of WILPF that has existed since 1922 continuously. So we kind of celebrated our own 100th birthday 3 years ago. So those of you who keep track of this kind of thing will be aware that this year is the 80th anniversary of the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the Trinity test that was done in New Mexico to prove that the bomb would work, which is the subject of the Oppenheimer film that many of you will have watched over a year ago. And I realize that not everybody here is in a branch, although I recognize that some of you are. But it is many of our branches have it to have some action or activity around August the 6th and or the 9th, which were the dates of the two bombs. And let me just tell you that the 6th is a Wednesday and the 9th is a Saturday. So maybe Saturday is a good day.
Okay, so Gloria, why don't you make the announcement about NATO?
Okay, I have another announcement, which I'll make first because it just came in my mail. 5 raging grannies and a young woman from El Salvador sang to the protest crowd at the Kilmar Garcia protest today. And Karen Pope of Veterans for Peace, Tucson, was interviewed at length. And someone who wrote this said, my guess is that she will be on channel 13 at 6 or at 10 p.m. And we had 2 new songs composed by Lee Stanfield of the Raging Grannies, and I will post the files of their lyrics to chat. 2 new songs.
I don't know that everyone knows of the wondrous, wondrous is a little much, but shall we say illustrious elevation of the chair or the convener of the Jane Addams branch is now also the WILPF US board secretary. Our own Diane Blay was appointed by the at the last meeting to be national secretary. Thank you, Diane.
Yay, Diane.
Thank you, Darian.
You want me to go back to finish my announcement?
Sure. Thank you, Cheryl.
Okay, so as I said, many branches commemorate this anniversary, the 80th, and on the aughts and the 5s, we make a bigger deal of it. Many of the Hibakusha, the people who suffered from the bomb, actually, were inside the zone of radiation and what have you. Many of them are passing away. There's not many left. An organization that has worked with those survivors to petition the Japanese government. So we expect that the major media will be carrying these stories and making a big deal about the 80th anniversary. And so we like to tag on to that and make our own messages. So there is a planning committee that I'm part of, a national planning committee with people like Plowshares and the Union of Concerned Scientists and Mayors for Peace, all the people, and we had a big deal for the 75th birthday commemoration 5 years ago. So we will, the Disarm Committee will be providing to the branches and to any of the individual members who are members of Jane Addams who wish to help to commemorate this with a toolkit, with templates for letters to the editor, so you can point out to your local community, so you all know about those 2 bombs that were used in anger But now that we have 15,000 of them around the world, owned by 9 different countries, ready to be used, etc., etc. And of course, with the Ukraine-Russia war, we're more worried than ever about the possibility that they could be set off, which, if you've all read the Annie Jacobson book, Nuclear War, a Scenario, in her scenario, the civilization could be over in about 45 minutes from a first ICBM attacking the US. So, and many of you read that in book clubs last year. So please be on the lookout. And those of you who are not in branches, you can nevertheless talk to your city council. There are resolutions out there that we can send you links to ask your city council to resolve that they also won't have anything to do with nuclear weapons, and or they will divest from those companies, because many city councils have to put their capital in some investments, and many of them invest in military companies. So we're also trying to get city councils, your university institutions, your pension plan to divest from companies like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, who are the companies who contract with our government to help design the missiles and the submarines that deliver these weapons. The weapons tend to be actually designed within our DOE labs like Los Alamos, but the way to deliver them is given over to commercial companies who make an enormous profit from doing that for the government. So please be on the lookout. And I see Nuri and Alan are here now, so I'll quit. Thank you.
Is the Disarm Committee going to showcase Hideko at all on the occasion of the 80th?
We will see if she's available, what she's wants to do. She's turned 90 now. She's slowed down a lot, and we will be asking her. She's what she might do for us. We already have the video of her, speaking a little short clip about how awful it was to be bombed. So yes, we will. Hideko is a member of our Disarm Committee. She is a Hibakusha from the Hiroshima bomb. She was eight or so years at the time. So
is that video available for branches?
It's on the YouTube channel, WILPF US Today, and it's under Disarm playlist.
Yes, so yes, all these things are available, and as time goes on, more information will be sent out.
So I see Nuri and Alan are here. So we've been waiting. So why don't you take it away, Nuri? And
thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here and inform everybody that we have started a section in Iran, سازمان زنان ایران برای صلح و آزادی, which is the translation of Women's International League for Peace and Freedom. We are registering it in Iran as NGO, and we have weekly meetings, Saturday mornings, of Iranian ladies and election and organization. And we send our request to International WILPF for the Congress to become a section. And this was, of course, this started because World Economic Forum and some other imperialistic organizations or representatives were talking about Iranian women for so many years as 143rd lowest in the world from 147. And I knew that cannot be true. That's not true, because we studied and we looked at, me and Alan both, we did research that Iranian women, the level of education in the world is 84%, and Iranian women are 98%.
Okay, what you're saying is that
Right.
the world average literacy rate amongst women is 84%. The literacy rate in Iranian women is 97 or 98%.
Right.
Huh.
So we knew about that, and we knew what they are trying to misrepresent Iran, the anti-Islamic mentality of imperialism and Zionism. We're trying to push this, and several other organizations also, so-called left even organizations, were trying to show Iran, and they were isolating Iran, and Iran, WILPF has about, what, 72 countries as member, or 70, something close to that, nations, that NGOs in different countries, and Iran was not part of it, while Iran is a huge country in the Middle East. And so that's why we decided that it's very important that we bring Iran as member of, or a branch, a section of WILPF. And we did everything, and we had some backlash from some women that they consider themselves Iranian WILPF member in diaspora, while I know that WILPF has regulation that the section member, they have to be citizen and residents of the country, rather than people in diaspora like me would be able to be member of WILPF, Iran WILPF. I am not member of WILPF Iran. I am member of WILPF in United States because I am residing in United States. Last 58 years, I am member. So me and my husband and Adilia Karabaka, the previous international president of WILPF, and from 2012, about
somewhere about early teens, early 20 teens.
Yeah,
I don't remember exact
2012 or earlier. She was international president of Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, and she came with us to Iran. We also had another gentleman that helped us facilitate to be able to go to Iran, and they contacted me when I was in United Nations for General Assembly on nuclear abolition treaty. And I talked to them for about 2 hours.
You ought to say who they are.
Yeah, they were Iranian, in a way, foreign office, as well as Iranian representative to United Nations. They contacted me because there had been some activities that was supported by United States imperialism and by Zionism on the issue of naming Zan Zendegi Azadi. And of course, we are against any killing, but there was somebody who died in Iran of some kind of heart attack, the girl, Mahsa Amini, and they put it on the government that he has killed them. And even if they did, which was wrong, which we don't accept, but we know what's happening in United States, other places, the number of killing or commit suicide or mass murder, daily mass murder that is happening, and nobody talks about all of these things. And if one person in Iran, which is wrong, gets killed, they organize the whole world against Iran because that's what they want to do.
And I step in here for a little bit,
please.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
So the people, one of the people we met from Iran Foreign Ministry in New York was the head of the Iran interest section in the Pakistani embassy in DC. And after we had talked to, or after Nuri had talked to them for a couple of hours, he turned to me and he said, Alan, you have a visa. I had been having trouble getting a visa. He said, now you have a visa, just apply for it. And that was how we actually got started on going to Iran. I did want to say something about the two other people in our delegation of 5 people. I was one, Nuri was one, Adelia Kadavaka was one, and Ellie Valley, who was born in Iran, worked as an architect in New York City for her career, just retired to Costa Rica, and also just joined WILPF as a member. She was the 4th member of the delegation, and the 5th member was Mr. Darius Sajjadi, a Iranian journalist who's stationed in the U.S. And he, when we mentioned this prospect to him, he was very enthusiastic about it. He, in fact, was the one that made the connection with the foreign ministry people, and he organized basically our whole trip. While we were in Iran, we visited maybe 10 different universities, women's universities, and universities that women are prominent in. Oh, by the way, there are a couple of statistics that I wanted to say when Nuri was giving statistics. One of them is that in Iran, women are quite educated. The rate of women graduating from universities in Iran is 60% of the graduates these days are women. And in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, it's 68%. And when women graduate from college, there's a lot of opportunity for them. We visited the parliament of Iran and met with, I forget, 8, 10 women members of Parliament of Iran. One of them was a member of the cabinet. One was a head of a committee in the parliament. In the universities we were at, there were women that were heads of department. There were women that were heads of research groups. And so we were quite impressed with the responsible positions that women occupied in Iran. Our purpose for going there, of course, was to make connections with women who might be interested in joining a section of WILPF in Iran, and I think we were very successful in that. Nuri and Ellie have been developing that group of women. About 130 names we have, and we have 20 to 40 people every week joining on a call. I guess it's a WhatsApp call, a group call anyway. So I wasn't sure exactly what we were supposed to be talking about today. Are we supposed to be talking about the trip to Iran or what our impressions were? I'd like some guidance on that myself. Diane?
Whatever you want. You can talk about, I mean, if you want to talk about your lives or your impressions, I would love, whatever you feel like you'd want to share with us. That would be great.
Yeah, I would love Alan to share with you because it was his first time to Iran.
Right.
the
So-
fact that what is the cultural or the relationship of people with each other, especially women and girls that are being, I mean, in the Western countries, they talk about
Yeah.
Islam being so oppressive toward women. So I
Yes,
want you to
I'd
talk.
like that particular point. I would like to give you a couple of impressions. One is when we were at the Parliament, all of the women that we met took about 5 minutes each to talk about what their role in the Parliament was, and to welcome us, and also to we heard several of them express the concern that a WILPF section of Iran might be another imperialist move to push the Western point of view on Iran. And at the end of our visit, they were convinced that no, this will actually be an opportunity for Iranian women to express themselves to the world. Another thing I'd like to say about that meeting at the Parliament and at other places, particularly universities that we went to, is the issue of hijab. The impression we get from the media in the US is that wearing the hijab is imposed on women in Iran. I did not get that impression at all from hearing them talk. And after I came back, it occurred to me that the hijab in the universities and in the Parliament is somewhat the same as business dress in this country. When I first started my career back in the 50s, I could not, when I was teaching or working for a consulting company, I could not go to work without a jacket and tie. By the time I retired, the business casual had come into being, and I could go to work with just slacks and a sports shirt. But it occurred to me that the wearing of a hijab in a formal setting is just like that's the business attire that you wear. And I did not get the impression that any of the women we talked to felt that it was being imposed on them. In the streets, in the shops, out in the world in general, women, a lot of them did wear hijab, but I would say the majority of the women, particularly the young women, basically their head covering was a scarf that they wore around their neck that they could put over their head if situation called for it, but most of them did not. And I forget what the other impression of women that we did talk to, we met several women who were heads of departments in universities. We met, no, I myself, my mother was a fairly well-known scientist, so I was familiar with women conducting science. We met two women, one who was head of a laboratory in a women's university in Iran. She took us on a tour of her laboratory, and another one was the head of an organization within the university. This was in the city of Isfahan, the second largest city in Iran. She was the head of an organization within a university that develops hybrid seeds for agriculture in Iran. And we also met a woman who was a PhD and a MD from the United States who had gone back to Iran for her whole career. And we met her daughter, who was, I believe she was the head of an academic department in a university there. In terms of culture of Iran, I always felt very welcomed by people. there, even people we met on the street. As a matter of fact, they were so welcoming that I remember a case of one woman. We were shopping, and for some reason, I think it was the brightness of Nuri's outfit or whatever, she stopped to talk to us, and at the end of the conversation, she invited us to her place for the evening where we went. She had invited some friends in. We played cards and other games there, and I know that many people invited us to stay over with them. We've fortunately had other accommodations that we could go to, but people were always very hospitable. I guess one last thing that I want to talk about that Nuri always likes me to talk about is traffic in Iran. When we got Mr. Sajadi arranged for us to be taken wherever we needed to go by a small staff that he had in Iran. So we got driven around Tehran quite a bit. In the first few days, I was in the middle position in the second row of a van. So I got to see all of the traffic, everything that was happening with the traffic in front of me. And I would cringe often because I thought, sure, we're going to get in an accident or we're going to run into a pedestrian or whatever. And after a while, I began to relax because that didn't happen. And I realized that driving in Iran takes a different mental attitude from driving in the States. I should mention that amongst people that know me and have ridden with me, I'm considered a good driver in the United States. And one reason I'm a good driver is I am a defensive driver. And I thought that was a compliment. But now, after my Iran experience, I realized the reason that we're called, that good drivers are called defensive drivers, or why defensive drivers are good drivers in the States, is that when you're out on the road, you'll often have the feeling that everybody else on the road is your enemy. So you have to be defending yourself. In Iran, I don't think people have the idea that the other people on the road are their enemies. I think they have the feeling that the other people on the road are part of their community. So if somebody wants to make a left turn from the right-hand lane, an Iranian driver will let them do it, will not think anything of it. And that way traffic flows in a way that an American driver or American person will feel very threatened by it, but it's sort of natural with Iranian people. I'm going to pass it back to, I've talked more than I usually do. Pass it back to Nuri here.
Yeah, we really, I am hoping to organize a group of American visitors to Iran, especially WILPF members, now that Iran has WILPF. And I want you to see for yourself the fact that all the advertise about Iranians being whatever, I don't know, terrorists or all of these things. You do not see. Go ahead.
Yeah, that reminds me. One thing that was very important for me. We went to Iran to see if we could get Iranian women interested in WILPF. I was very impressed that the men in Iran, like we met many people in government and in the universities, universally supported what we were doing. I thought we were going to get a lot of pushback from the government, but we in fact got. I felt we were very well supported by people in the government, including men in high positions there. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine. We did not, as it is being advertised, we didn't see any so-called mullah. There was nobody. We saw throughout the whole time 2 people with turban and all those things on their head. We didn't see any police. There is no police in the streets or military, whatever. None of these things. Iran is a really very, very friendly, very loving, very peaceful, very, I don't know, I was telling myself and other people that you don't need to take care of yourself because there are 50 people are taking care of you. So, and then you focus on caring for others and taking care of others rather than taking care of yourself, because there's so much watching over you, caring for you, and really enjoying. Iran is, I feel it is the land of mehr and danish, means a love and education and intelligence, because they not only are highly educated, but education is not like here that we don't know anything about Iran. They know everything about the whole world, including United States and everywhere else. They study those things, and they are very, even though US is trying to isolate and sanction and scaring American people, but that's not true. Iran is doing the opposite. They would love to have, they say guests are gift of God, gift from God. So as soon as they see somebody that does not look Iranian, and I don't look Iranian in Iran, so they gather around and they want to party, they want to invite you and stay there. So I have been receiving phone calls. I've been receiving invitation, hundreds of houses that I'm going to save them for every one of you, that we go there and together go to private houses and enjoy ourselves. It really is a whole different world. They cherish their enjoyment and partying and dancing and music and poetry. And that's their primary focus.
I was wondering if we could open this up to questions.
Yes,
that people
please.
have.
Oh, thank you, because we have 3 questions. I'll go with
Sure.
Linda, and then Barbara Taft, and then Barbara Nielsen has something in the chat, so I'll just let her ask it rather than read it. So Linda, why don't you go ahead?
Sure. Hi there. Hi, Nuri and Alan. It's very nice to meet you and everyone else here. I had a reflection or a comment and then a couple questions regarding the attire, and Alan, specifically your sort of observations about it being analogous to wearing business wear. For me, I feel like I don't think business wear was like required by law. So for me, that's a big difference. I just want to reflect on your reflection. And then secondly, I'm really excited to hear about all these bridges you're building. And really, I got to sit in on your disarm committee meeting. So I heard you talk about how it's local women that are mobilizing to create WILPF in Iran. And is that right? It's local women that are mobilizing, and Nuri and Alan,
Yes.
you're supporting them? Okay, that's great.
Yes.
And WILPF International is involved too.
Okay.
Is that right?
What I need to say is that you are right. There are some pressure against women on covering themselves, and it annoyed me as well. But it is not law, and they are, and Iranian women pushed it off so much that fortunately now, compared to 30 years ago is very, very, very different, which means that nowadays, I myself and my sister, we travel a lot, and this time I hardly had anything on my head, and I was everywhere, in universities, in several cities, and no problem, never was stopped by anybody, never was pressured by anything, never was asked. Actually, government knew the way my tire was, because we were guests of people and government was welcoming us. So I did exactly the way you see me. And Ellie was with us the same, Adelia the same. So 3 of us were ladies from here that we walked around just the way we wanted to. I do feel my own mother used to cover her head, and I do feel that respect and love for her belief, and that is cultural. And but there isn't such a pressure anymore of. And I forgot, I'm sorry, you asked other questions too. It was,
I was just asking about the partnership with WILPF International in creating the section in Iran. Are they very supportive?
The government is very supportive, but they are not. When I had the meeting at United Nations with them, that was the 2 hours I was talking rather than them. And one of the things that I talked about was that we are going to do it according to the way we know WILPF and international WILPF and all that. And we are not, and if they are going to help, they are welcome to help, but they will be only helping to whatever women want. So we do have members of WILPF that they do have a scar, member of even parliament are member of WILPF now, member of WILPF Iran. Universities, mostly professors and students, we met thousands and thousands of them. When we were in Tehran, we had meeting every day, 4 or 5 meetings, right?
We had a
Daily,
lot of meetings.
a lot of meetings daily of university professors as well as students together. We all were with us.
That's great.
And Congress of Iran, I mean, I have never been able to see my congresswoman here, but there were 7, 8 congress women. Some of them, as Alan said, the chair of the different committees running the Congress, and they welcomed us and they start talking and they listened to us. So it was really refreshing how humble, how loving, how welcoming they are, that I want every WILPF member that wants to come to Iran, I am going to organize it to that they themselves witness, they themselves see, visit the Congress of Iran, visit the universities, visit the business centers, everything. We had the chance, and I want to make sure that everybody does. And yes, WILPF, we had 3 group Zoom meetings, because each of them 30, 40, they were participating, and we don't have a system that allows more than that. So there are 2, 3 Zoom meetings every week, Saturday mornings, Iranian ladies, and we are there, 2, 3 of us, just listening and kind of guiding or there are conferences about everything, including economic situation of Iran, women's situation in Iran, government sanction issue, so many, everything that is going on in Iran, they put, and we talk about it.
Great. And sorry, Diane, I don't want to hog the microphone, but just, and WILPF International, like globally, WILPF International in Geneva, are they supporting you as well?
Yes, they are.
Oh, great.
We send already our papers. Thank you. Yes.
Great.
And we need all of you's help as well, because as I said, there were some Iranian women in diaspora that for whatever reason, I don't know what was the reason, they were trying to block us, which of course I told them they are welcome to join us. We will be glad to join them, no problem. All we want all these, we want Iran to become a section because of misrepresentation of Iran by imperialism, Zionism, and all that phenomena. So we want Iranian women to represent themselves. Sure.
Okay, yes, thank you. Okay, Barbara Taft, and then Barbara Nielsen, and then Nancy Price. Barbara?
Hi, Nuri and Alan. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Probably the biggest thing that we're hearing lately about Iran is about whether or not Trump is going to get involved and set up the JCPOA again. I'm wondering if people on the street have mentioned anything about that while you were there. And also, in relation to that, of course, my feeling has always been that if Iran is thinking about nuclear, it's because Israel is doing that and Israel is threatening them. So has there been any discussion that you had while you were there about those things?
Yes, thank you. Yes, first about the danger. When we were there, the danger was not this high. Of course, actually, it's interesting because you can say that.
Yes, actually, there was some danger there. We were going to go at the end of October. Well, we had airline reservations, etc. And about 2 days before we left, were to leave, the airlines, 2 different airlines, canceled all of the flights to Iran for a week because that was the time when Israel and Iran were exchanging missile fire. But after a week, nothing else had happened. The airlines opened up their flights again, and so the impact on us of that was just that we went a week later than we had expected to go.
Yeah. And inside Iran, shockingly, people are too busy having fun and music and poetry and dancing, which Alan witnessed for the first time, but was shocking to him too. They are too busy having fun to think of these things, really. And then now that Israel for last 30 years is pushing United States or more, pushing United States to go to war with Iran, and US knows, and it's important that all of you know, I am sure you know, that if US, I hope not, decides to go to war with Iran, that would be really a third world war and the end of the world, because Iranians, it is 85, 86 million very peaceful people and population, and they are not interested in any war. And if the war goes on, Iranians are very resisting, and it won't go right. And I am afraid that, I hope not, but it would end up nuclear usage of nuclear bombs, and then really the end of the world. That's a reality that we all need to know and try to prevent something like that. Iran, fortunately, around Trump are gathering that, no, we better negotiate. And so now, supposedly he has sent a 3-point threat against Iran as a sample of negotiation. But Iranian people and government are much too smart to let these things agitate them and create a negative. I think they are very patient, very thoughtful, and they are going to try their best to continue or bring peace with United States.
Okay, thanks.
And Iran is not intending nuclear or anything. This was last 40-some years. The leader, Khomeini, said that it is against our faith, our religion, nuclear war or creating nuclear or making nuclear. And Iran is one of the 122 countries that they signed, they participated, and they signed the denuclearization treaty, which WILPF was leading. ICANN and representative of WILPF, they were leading that. Iran was one of the countries that signed in, and no way they want nuclear.
Okay, thanks. So Barbara Nielsen and then Nancy.
Thank you very much. So I may be slow these days, so I would like to just clarify. If I understand correctly, and hello to you both, it's been a long time since we've talked. When you went, one of the things you wanted to do was to help Iranian women who wanted to start a WILPF section, start a WILPF section. Is that correct? And so the minimum number that you need to do so is, I don't know what the number is. Is it 20 members? Is it 10 members? Is it 30 members? And so you were working with local women to make that happen. And are they now a section? Has that happened? That would be enormously wonderful news.
Yeah, I would like to respond to that. The purpose was not quite the way you stated. It was to see, to meet Iranian women to see if there was any interest in joining WILPF. And the answer is, WILPF, is Iran a section of WILPF now? No, it's not. Nuri is very enthusiastic and positive and talks about WILPF Iran, but that's basically a group of women in Iran who are interested in forming a section. To become a section, I understand it has to be happen at a Congress, an international Congress, which is going to be a year or two from now. I forget which it is.
Right,
but
that's when it's approved, right?
Right.
One thing that Nuri and Ellie Valley are doing with this group of women is trying to build a sort of a group cohesion in this group of women, and so that they form a real section when they get admitted as a section of Iran. I don't know if that answered your question or not.
So sure. So it sounds like it's letting the women know what WILPF is about, experiences, what their possibilities are, what the process is, how terrific it would be to be part of the organization. That's a terrific thing that you're doing.
Yeah. What we did actually, the original intention was because Iranian women were misrepresented globally by those that they wanted, or they had anti-Islamic attitude and thinking that Islam is against women, and women are oppressed, we wanted to show that that is not true. So when we went there, we didn't pressure anybody joining anything. We told them that Adelia and me, we are member of WILPF, and this is the WILPF history. We talked about how WILPF started before First World War to resist the war, and what they have accomplished since then, including the recent several Nobel Peace Prize winning, 3 of them, especially the recent one, and nuclear abolition, that Iran was part of it as well, that WILPF initiated with other organizations, other NGOs. And we explained to them what WILPF is, what is its history, and women of the world, and how many countries, and all of that. And we did express, all of us, especially me, that I am sad that Iran is so isolated and they are not part of this international women organization. And being that I myself have been a member of WILPF last 57, 58 years, I expressed my joy and interest of what is WILPF, and if Iran can open a section of WILPF and join WILPF. And we studied the requirements, the number of people, minimum number that we need to have, and the requirements, and we translated even some WILPF bylaws and all of those to Persian and give it to them. And we told them that they can create their own organization or section the way they want, culturally and religiously and educationally, whatever the country, huge country of Iran is, they want to. And we have been continuing to support them and helping them to grow. Now we have more than 100 that often participate at our meetings, not all of them. And we had to create 3 parts because each part in Zoom meetings can be only 30 or less can be there. So we have been Esterbal, they have been welcoming us very, very much, and they are creating their own organization, and they applied for international WILPF, and the Congress of WILPF within a year and a half or whenever it's going to be, that is going to check out their requests and accepting them as member or whatever requirement is. But they are working. The name is more or less the same as WILPF Iran or سازمان زنان ایران در راه صلح و آزادی. That's the Persian Farsi name, exactly like WILPF. And they are doing all the beautiful activities that WILPF has last 110 years. And they are doing that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That makes a good clarification.
Yeah.
And thank you for all that work.
Yeah, you are welcome. Yes, I had to spend more than $40,000 to help bring that about. And I'm glad to do more.
Wow.
We will do that.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, Nancy Price, go ahead.
Yes, hi. Hi, Nuri and Alan. Wonderful to hear
Hi, Nancy. Thank you.
Of your work there and the potential for having a section and maybe even travel, etc. I wanted to suggest that one of the ways that my husband and I have come to know Iran is through their films. They're wonderful films.
Yes.
And so, because the French, the late 19th century, the French and Iran were really pretty close friends, and the film industry was introduced in the, filmmaking and projecting was introduced to Iran. In any case, my husband and I could work up a list. I'm sure that you and Alan could contribute to that list, and then we could circulate it in the Jane Addams branch discussion or something like that. How would you like to do that?
Yes, you are right. The movies, Iranian movies, when I watch them, I say, whoa, nobody acted. They live. They just take the video of the living. And even at the end of it, my husband is always shocked because in US, they try to conclude an end to it. But in Iran, the life continues. So it is it is at the middle of the issue.
Very unsatisfying for someone brought up.
So on the tour to Iran, there's a wonderful film museum. Have you ever been to that museum? Anyway, there's a terrific film museum to go to, and
in Iran?
Yeah, in Tehran. You see all the posters and this, that, and the other thing. So anyway, we'll send you some of our titles, and you could add to that list, and then we could send it to the Jane Addams branch for people to enjoy looking at Iranian films.
That would be great.
That would be great. You are right, because there are so many movies that they really talk about loving life and enjoying life. That's all. The life in Iran, that's all about that. I mean, we just had Nowruz, or Persian New Year, which is the first day of spring. They go for 13 days doing nothing but celebrating, dancing, playing, and parties, ceremonies, respecting elders, and getting their AD, their Nowruz party. Yeah, very interesting culture to become familiar with.
Well, thank you so much. This has been really interesting. I don't think there are any more questions right now. Am I missing something? Does anyone? Oh, Cheryl has her hand raised. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Yes, so you mentioned in our disarm meeting the other day, and you re-mentioned it here without much detail. So you would like to arrange a tour of Iran with US members of WILPF being part of the tour, and so we could also appreciate the Iranian culture and people. I must say, I have been to Turkey, and we were very welcomed in Turkey. Everybody wanted us to come in their house and have a cup of tea. It is, I presume it's a similar culture. So give us a little bit of idea how you're thinking of this tour. Is it something we do next year? Is it?
No, I hope that we do it by mid-June of this year, because so many already are very interested. So if you are interested, and if WILPF can help a representative from each section, each of WILPF in United States, that by itself, one person from each, it could be what, 15, 20 of them coming, and Robin Lloyd wanted, Robin Lloyd and others, they wanted to, no, not Robin Lloyd, McGregor Eddie was talking about doing the fundraising for all of us, and organizing a WILPF tour, and of course other other organizations are interested. I'm sure you know that Code Pink and Medea Benjamin have been there for several times and has written a book about their visit. And there is another interesting book. It is called Honeymoon in Parda by, is it Alison Weir? No. Honeymoon in Parda, the journalist, the Canadian journalist. I
forget what her name is now.
Yeah. She actually wants to go to Iran at the time of hostage or spies that were arrested, or spy center. It's very interesting to see the relationship of United States. There is museum now, U.S. Embassy. What it was, it is a museum now. You can go see what they were doing, how in Iran, U.S. was the center of a spy center for the whole world, and the connection and the secrecy and all of that, amazing. And in Iran, being so humiliating and very disrespectful of Iranian culture and community.
Alison Waring.
Alison Waring, yeah, I know it was Alison Waring. It was close.
So
Alison Waring is the author of Honeymoon in Parda. It is fun to read that. It is really interesting journalist going during so-called hostage crisis.
It wasn't during the hostage crisis.
It was right then.
It was later than that. So
Yeah.
It was after the
yeah.
So
Thank
just to
you.
say,
When was it?
the same man who, the journalist who made all your arrangements and got you into the parliament, got you into all those universities, would he be available?
Yes, he is available, helping us to organize. And Iranian foreign minister, they said, we welcome, and they can go wherever they want to in any form and shape, and no problem. And we are organizing it, and the gentleman is helping us. I already talked to the foreign ministry and talked to him and talked to others. They are there to help us. They said we facilitate their going wherever they want. We went to 5 cities. We went to Tehran, Isfahan, actually the largest city in Iran. Tehran, Isfahan, Shiraz, where I was born, Shiraz and Fasa, where I was born, and Shiraz, where I live. And we have started, me and my brother and my sister, we have built 10 schools for Iran, in Iran. And me, I have a huge school in Tehran, Afghani children that are refugees in Iran, and government does not give them all the freedom or all the economic support. And we have created a huge school. And my brother and sister also, they built 10 schools in where we were born and in the cities around it, Shiraz and Fasa. So we visited all those schools and children. It was fantastic. It was amazing and so beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, that
Thank
sounds
you.
wonderful. I think we don't have any more questions, but oh, wait, Barbara,
We have
did you?
Genevieve.
I have my hand up. I just thank you so much for this presentation, and I wish I could go with you. I don't know if I could go in June, but it sounds like an amazing place, and you've talked so beautifully about it and the culture and the people.
Thank you. There'll be more traveling, and really we need to go as part of, especially now, as part of our resistance for any war. This is a women organization. This is a peace organization. And WILPF was created to stop First World War. And now got to continue to stop any war that could threaten the whole world. And that is the war with Iran.
I agree. And I just wanted to say I work with initiatives here at WILPF, and I also we're doing the celebration when you were talking about music and dance and culture and celebrating for WILPF's 110 years. And I know that Tina might want to say a little bit about that too. I don't know, Tina, if you want to jump in, but it's going to be Monday, April 28th. And we're sending out flyers for it and you know, on the e-blast and stuff. So we want to celebrate WILPF and bring this history and this tradition of protecting.
Genevieve, I'll
Yes, I'm sorry. Who else was saying?
We are going to celebrate WILPF that day. Iranian WILPF. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for this beautiful presentation.
Okay, well, thank you, Nuri and Alan. Does anyone have any announcements or anything else you want to say? I have an announcement, I guess. Yeah, but we're bringing in on an intern, and she's going to be handling anything that people want to help with. I mean, ideally, she has to have 350 hours. That's a fair amount of time. So that's something to consider if you want. So just let me know about any project you want done. Darian, go ahead.
Thank you. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just wanted to mention that I have already heard that there's another action on Saturday, at least in the 50-51 grouping. And personally, I can't handle action every 2 weeks, but I think some people may have missed the last one or are ready for more. And they are a great opportunity for organizing. I gave out about 10 little cards on WILPF when I was at the last one here in Sacramento. We wore our WILPF sashes and people admired them and said, oh, those are great. Someone said, they remind me of the suffragettes or the proper suffrage women. And we got one person who knew of the Raging Grannies and volunteered to help organize Raging Grannies in Sacramento, since the same day on the 5th of April, we had the memorial service for our longtime local Raging Grannies leader. So we are in a state of transition these days. Everybody, it seems to be the case. And it's an opportunity in some cities to go again to an action and reach out to other people. Thank you.
Yeah. Darian, I really need to ask you, I am 80-some years old, 84 years old. And in our city, we passed a ceasefire resolution through the city council. And we have so many people, because of our talk, me and Alan, they are very much interested to join WILPF. So I personally need WILPF US to help somehow to these that are interested to organize them and to become member. So many of them, they show interest to us, but I need some help for our section in WILPF Ojai. So many people are interested. So many.
We do have an organizer, Nuri, who could help you. We have we have a consultant who organizes membership.
I don't from WILPF. I don't. I would love to have some help.
Yeah, this is from WILPF.
We need some help from WILPF.
All right, I can get in touch with them and have them contact you. This is Barbara Nielsen.
You will have received a reminder about the 28th of April. just in the last few days. If you look at your emails, please, because the organizing people who are organizing the 28th of April have sent us a new flyer which explains what will happen, and it's specifically made for you to forward to friends and family, because they can come to that event, and it also helps you understand there's an online way of joining WILPF, okay, for $35. So it really is quite simple. And so,
Yeah.
Genevieve, were you the person who organized that new flyer, the nice one-page flyer?
Mary Beth, I think.
Mary Beth, right. So Mary Beth, anyway, everybody, I got it in the email. So those of you, everybody gets that email, please. It's like an it's called an e-alert.
Nuri, perhaps you could organize just a viewing party at a member's home or somebody's home. Invite people to come on the 110th anniversary on April 28th. And they can donate live during the event. If they bring their cell phones, they can join during the event. But we want people to come to the event and see how WILPF knows how to have a party.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
And International WILPF, again, I receive emails from International WILPF. Their celebration will unfortunately happen at 3 a.m. California time on the 28th, but that's 6 a.m. in the East. I hope some of you get up early enough to join that. I've registered for it, knowing I won't actually be there, but I hope they will send me a recording. So International WILPF is having their own celebration. And as you're in Ojai here in California, it's 3 a.m. on the 28th.
That's a good time for dancing. I'm tired.
Anyway, so you know, the 28th has been chosen. So the US section and International WILPF will be celebrating, and the opportunities to donate and also to become members.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to say in Alabama, I'm doing a dance party with drums, having a drum circle for the so people are coming and they're excited to dance drum for people.
Alabama. I love to be there.
Okay, well, thank you all for attending. Next month, we're going to have speakers on Mexico, what's happening there, and the new leader that they have, Claudia Schaubing Prado. So anyway, that ought to be good. And then after that, we're going to have the three months of gatherings. Or it's kind of a repeat of what we had of the gathering we had. We're going to have staff present, then all the issue committees and the board will each talk. So that will be the 3 months in the summer. So anyway, thank you for coming tonight. And thank you, Nuri and Alan, for being our guest speaker. And everyone have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much.
You.
You'll send the recording of this
Thank you,
out
Diane.
to WILPF branches and
that will
eventually.
It's always up. Ellen puts it up to the at WILPF US today.
But we need to know the exact URL of the YouTube.
You'll see it if you go to WILPF US today too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like to receive it in its exactness.
Okay, I'll make sure you get it, Nuri and Sherry.
Thank you.
And then we can send that to WILPF branches, because there were only 16 of us here, and there are a lot more people who should hear Nuri and Alan had to say.
That's true.
Yes.
And Darian, you have your hand up still? I think that's left over, right?
That's left over, but I will say thank you so much for hosting month after month. Hurrah, Diane Blay. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
good night, everyone.
All right.
Good night. Thank you.
Save the chat if you want.
I love you. Thank you. Alan Thomas.
Yes, thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Nuri.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alan
Bye.
Thomas. Bye.